Hey everybody, I am back and I am here with my very first episode to my Use It or Lose It series. So it's a new series that I'm starting, and with this series it's going to be an ongoing series because there's a whole craft room here of things that I need to either use or lose, and I'm constantly doing destashes and giving to Goodwill or even throwing away if it's not worth trying to sell or give away. So I don't know when I'll be doing these videos like this, where it's something that I'm thinking about whether or not I want to keep or use, or not keep, but actually use or lose. So those videos will come every now and then. They might be back to back, or I might have other videos in between of other things that just, like maybe something new I just bought that I want to use. So anyway, it will be labeled Use It or Lose It series or something like that. So with this one, I had used this, not this because I just found that in my stash. I used this in my last episode, my last Valentine's series episode, because I hadn't used it in forever, and I'm constantly buying, new paper like most of us do, and I don't have the space to store everything. So I decided, well, I'm not ready to let it go, so I decided to use it, and I made myself, well, not for me, but for somebody, I made a loaded pocket. And I also used some other goodies that I had in my stash. But I now need to make a few other projects which are shabby chic, and since I still had this out, instead of looking for another pack of paper to use, I thought, well, maybe I'll try to use this. But as I was going into my 6x6 stash, I found this pad here, which goes with the collection. So this is G45 Gilded Lilly, and this is the 6x6 patterns in solid. Now, I bought this online. I don't know where. So if you're interested, even if I don't even know if it's still available, please just Google G45 Gilded Lilly, and hopefully you'll find it somewhere. Maybe somebody's still selling this. So I had got a whole collection, everything that you see here, plus the cutouts of the pockets. Now the cutouts and pockets are gone. They have been used, or I've given it as goodies in my loaded pocket. This is what I have left of the 12x12. There's still a lot in here. Most likely, I'm gonna try to make like a packaging kind of thing maybe with this. And then I have the 6x6. I barely touched it when I was doing my loaded envelope. And then this one here, which is almost brand new. There's only a little bit that I had cut into in a previous project that I don't even remember what it was. But with the little items that I'm going to make, I'm going to be using this for sure because it has the smaller patterns, and I have to make some embellishments. So in this episode of Use It or Lose It, it's probably going to be a couple parts for this episode, but this first episode will be layered butterflies, and I'm going to be using this. Then I'll be using these for other things that are going to go all together. Alright, I didn't pull out any stuff that's going to go with it. I will show them as I use it in my voiceover. I haven't started the video yet. I haven't recorded anything because I haven't done anything yet. I just pulled out this stuff to show you. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this new series and this particular project. I will be seeing you in a second. So let's get started. Here are the papers that I have picked out for my butterflies, and I already shared this with you, but just figured I'll show it to you again. I picked out 4 patterns, and I'll be using both back and front to punch out my shapes. So the pattern side will be 1 butterfly. Oops, sorry. So that's the stickles that I'm going to use. And that would be on the top layer. So the that butterfly right there will be stickled. That is from Michael's. And then that one I got at Hobby Lobby on clearance. So the pattern one will be that last one I showed you from Hobby Lobby, and then the one with the stickles will be the one with the pink punch. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch out all the shapes that I need. And it punches out really nice and smooth. And I wanted to use, different colors for this. These are all going to go together as a little set. So those are my first layer for my butterflies. And now we're going to use the other one. Now with that certain punch, it doesn't cut through and punches out the other end. It actually punches and then you slip the image. You see it just slips out from that slot there. But they actually work nicely together layered, even though they're two different brands. Although the Recollections punch is a little harder to actually punch than the Martha Stewart one. The Martha Stewart was a little more smooth. Alright, so I have my pieces cut. And then I'm going to break out my paint marker again. Now I made similar butterflies for my loaded pocket or envelope in previous projects. So I don't show you the marker here, but it is the, let me see if I can pull it out now, Deco color from Marvy. I find those at Walmart for around $3. So that's the gold paint marker. This one is starting to run out of the ink or the paint that's in there, but I'm still using it. I still have enough to do these projects. That's why I kept tapping it on the napkin. Just going to do the edges. I'm going to do one on camera and then I skip to the next step as soon as I'm done with that one. So that's already with the gold done and ready for the next step. I'll be finishing the rest off camera. Now I'm going to be using some glossy accents. I found those, I find them everywhere actually, but when I first bought them I picked them up at Joann's. But it's sold everywhere and online too. So I'm going to completely cover the second layer. I don't want to do it too thick though, because I will be dipping it into those dry stickles. So if you go too thick, then you're going to get clumps. So right now I'm just doing a thin layer on everything. I'm trying not to leave any cardstock not glued. And you do have enough time to put it on everything. I was going to dip that one end into the jar, but decided to pour it out and then just glue the whole thing. So that's what I'm doing now. That way I could just, dip or lay the butterfly on top of the stickles instead of doing one half at a time. You could use any adhesive that you like. That's just my preferred adhesive for doing this kind of work. So now, as soon as I finish covering it, I'm just going to turn it over dip it into the stickles, and I'll be breaking out a little tweezer so I can kind of use that to press it in and then lift it up. And again, I'm only going to do this one on camera, the rest I do off camera. I had a little clump on the side there. I think I try to clean it up with my tool. And I kind of fold it up so that it doesn't stay folded downward. Alright, so they're done, and now to see what I want to use for my body, I have all this bling and stuff like that. I'm just showing what I have that I could use for the body. But what I'm going to do now is glue the two layers together first, and then I add my body. And they're all going to have the same color to go with each other, so that when they're finished, there'll be a blue butterfly, a couple of pink butterflies, and then that like creamy looking one. And one of the reasons why I do edge my first layer with the gold is because the second layer is actually smaller, so you will actually see the gold. If they were the same size, I might have not done that because, you know, you might not see it, but they are, you know, one is bigger than the other, so it actually works out that way, so you can see the gold more and you can see the pattern that's underneath. So I just put a little bit of glue just on the body part. I think that one, yeah, I ended up lifting up because it was too high, it wasn't centered. Oh, did I record that part? I think I did, I'm not sure. Yeah, I lift it up. If you slowly, carefully lift it up, the hot glue actually peels off easily. So you can't just pull it right away or it will tear the paper. So I just glue it back again and I center it. You could give these antenna. I do have wire somewhere and I was going to do it, but I could not find my wire anywhere. So I just decided not to give them antennas. So hopefully for the next time, I'll have my wire ready. I actually have them in colors too. So here I actually recorded myself gluing all 4 pieces. I am bending the wings up a little. I don't want everything to be flat, and if you leave it flat when you put the glue down, it will also, the glue will hold it flat. So if you like do that before the glue, then they'll stay up, and then the glue dries and leaves the wings in that position. Okay, so now we're going to put our bodies down using that bling chain. I have quite a bit of it. I'm not sure, but I do believe that I got that from Natasha's Scrapbook Corner, and I'll post a link down below. Even if it's not from there, I do believe she does carry some of this type of bling chain. And that's like the perfect thickness for these butterflies. I do have that, I don't know if that's called a wire cutter or not, but those little snippers that I just used are perfect for that. So then I just glued down my body, and I'm using the tweezers at this time, but I had a hard time with that, so I think later on I just use my hands just to put them down. So I think I end up trying to fix it or add more glue somewhere. I think it was right there. I was pulling off some glue, so I had to add more in that little spot. And when I pulled it, I think it pulled off too much. So I think later on I just don't use the tweezers anymore. So I'm pulling back on the wings a little more. I also end up folding the first set of wings as well to make all the layers come up. I think I'm only going to show you one more time. Not what that little pliers are called, I don't remember. But I did get those pliers from Harbor Freight. Okay, see, I just used my hands there instead of the tweezers. I have less problems. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to add some bling on the wings. I had pulled out all this bling that I was going to use, and I'm sharing what I might use. I ended up only using what I'm showing right now, those little rhinestones there. I believe the ones that I showed you earlier were from Tammy. So I'm just going to see if that's the right size, if I'm going to like it. And I just put them at the bottom tips. I was thinking whether I should put it on all the corners of all the, or I should say all the tips. But I ended up just doing on the two bottom tips of the wings. So, and I do use tweezers, I think, to put them on. I could have not, I didn't have to cut that off. I don't know why I did it. It actually made it harder for me, but I still got it on there. So just a tiny drop of hot glue, and then I'm going to put my rhinestone on. I'm taking out any extra glue, looking to see if I like it, and I do. So then I'm going to put the other one on. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I did try to see if I wanted to put it on the other corners. I ended up cutting a lot of the video out that I just didn't need in there. So it might look like I end this video abruptly. So anyway, I'm just going to start saying my goodbyes now before I get cut off. So I hope that you like this first episode. Part 1, actually, because there's going to be a few projects that go together with this. So the first episode, part 1 of my Use It or Lose It series. And the Use It or Lose It part is Gilded Lilly from G45. I've had in my stash, still using it. And we'll see how much more of it I use. So yeah, I had to take that off, put it back on, because it was not on properly. And again, it does peel off easily if you just slowly peel it off. I will be doing an episode where I package everything, so I figure I can just do one episode for packaging. Sorry for the noise. Alright everyone, so that is pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next part 2, episode 1. Goodbye. Okay, everybody, I am back with the second part to episode 1. I'm just making some shabby chic elements, or embellishments, I should say. So the last part I showed you how I made these butterflies. And in this part I'm going to show you how I'm making these cute little bows. And if you've been watching my challenge, I've been doing videos for all the entries that are coming in, and one of the entries, who is Peggy Smith, she sent me this bow die that I have been drooling over. And it's from Creative Time, or My Creative Time Dies, and you could see what it is. When I went searching for these, they were out of stock as of like a couple days ago. So I don't know if they're back in stock, but they do have like 2 or 3 different sizes of this. But this is the particular one that I wanted, which was the fun size. Lots of the entries that have been coming in have been making bows, or have had these bows on there, and I've been like wanting this die really bad. So thank you so much, Peggy, for sending me that. I already started using it, and you're probably not watching this till a few days later, but this is the first day that I actually got this, and I couldn't wait. And I figured, you know what, since I'm working on embellishments, it's perfect time to just use it and make the second set of embellishments. So I cut out the bow out of the same paper that I've been using, that I used on these guys here. So this is Graphic 45, and this is Gilded Lilly, and it is a 6x6 patterns and solids. So I used still the same scraps, as you can see, that I had used on the butterflies. So the same color, so that everything coordinates. So I just punched it out 4 times with all those papers. See if I can get them in my hand, and you get these 3 parts. Hold on. You get these 3 parts, and they are with like that stitch look. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there, the stitch look plus the little scallop. And there's the tail, and you can cut the tail and make them come down instead of coming out like this way. They can come down the side, and then the little wrap that goes around it. So I put together 3, and this is how they come out. I added the tulle and the colors to coordinate, and I've been using, for the pink, I used the tulle that I've been receiving. You know, they've been wrapped around some of the packages. So I'm going to put together one bow and then do one of these guys that goes behind it. I almost forgot to record, or to wait on the last piece. So this one's going to go with this pink one, but I'll show you how to do this little guy for this thing. And then, I don't know where I got these from, but I'm sure somebody gave this to me a while back. I'm just using the pearls off of this. I don't have the packaging for that. So that's how they're going to turn out. So let me go ahead and put together my bow. And what I like to do is, I'll take the bows once they've been cut out and kind of make this little part over here. I just make it go around something. So right now I just had this guy out. It's a little dauber, and I just do this to make that little curve without actually giving it a crease. Usually it works. Sometimes I'll get a crease anyways, but, and I do have my glue gun on. I do use that to put these things together. And I'll just do that. You could use whatever glues you want, but I prefer a glue gun. Hot glue makes it a lot quicker, and I'm almost immune to the heat on these things, so even though it gets on my fingers, I don't even feel it. So now you can either put your tail on and then wrap this, if I can get it on there, wrap that around, or I'm just going to put the little middle part first, because I was worried that I was going to get undone. So I'm just going to put that on there, even though you're not going to see it, but it does kind of help hold things in place. And at this point, if you want to do a paper clip, you would insert the paper clip there and then roll that up, and then you would cover the back with that the little tail there. I'm not doing paper clips right now, so of course I probably will later on. It's a little messy with the hot glue, but you don't see it once it's done. Alright, now we're going to do the tail. If I can get it on there. See, it's on me. Okay, so we've got the bow put together right there. So now I'm gonna build that little this thing, and I'm gonna use my little bow dabber for that, but I'm not actually making a bow. So where's my, I haven't even opened this yet. Okay, so I have this tool. I thought that was the closest thing to this color here from Hobby Lobby, and it's 40 yards for $5.99, but I do get that at 50% off. So we're just gonna go ahead and open this. If I can find the, and you really don't need that much. Okay. Alright, so with the bow dabber, this long side here is where you stick whatever you're going to, let's say we're going to use this for now. This is what you're going to tie your bow with. Put it right there. So you would build a bow in here, and then this would come up and you would make a knot. So it holds everything for you. And then, so I'm just going to cut a piece of this tool. It doesn't have to be that long, just long enough to come across here. And I'm doing a bit of a wider piece because I'm going to also keep it once it's tied up. I think I could use that. Let's see. We're just going to do that. I'm going to throw that in there. So now I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to cut, I think this length is fine. Let's see here. I'm going to do about that much. It might be too much, which it is, but I'm going to cut extra. And I'm going to double it up around my finger and just cut there. So now I have it double, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut that again in the middle. And now you're going to take that and place it in the center there. You can use this tool, which helps push everything down, but really don't need it with this. Now you're going to pull up the two pieces that you had. Here are the two ends. Lift and then tie. Make a knot. Do one more time. And then you're done. And then you can pull it out. So, I don't know if I could use this or not, but you can keep those pieces if you're using the same material and just keep it in there just for added fluff. What I'm going to do is take, let's see, is that the same size? I'm just going to go ahead and right now I'm just going to cut the extra measuring with the other one. So I didn't want them too big or too short. Okay, so now it's kind of even, it's shortened up. Kind of fluff it a little bit. And then you're going to glue the bow to the tool bow. Ah. Alright, so I'm just going to press that in there. So glue is everywhere again. Okay, so we should be good. And you can trim any extra, like if you don't like how this I don't know if you can even see right here. I kind of want to trim that a little bit, but I think everything else is fine. Now we're just going to stick the other one that I already had. This one came out a little more thick, so there's extra tulle on here. Just let's glue that down. Alright, get that in there. Okay, so let's just finish off with the half back pearls. You could use the, these, but since I already have that much bling on the butterflies, I wanted to make it slightly different, a little more toned down, and just use my half back pearls. And you can use smaller sizes, but I kind of like, the oversized pearl on here, so let's just glue that down. It's a little too much glue there. Okay. And now I previously went with my scissors and snipped at, because these are all like rows and there's a little plastic holding everything together, so I had previously snipped at that with my scissors just to be ready. There's glue everywhere. Okay, so there we go, really cute, bow. And let's stick the blue one right here. Okay, I can't grab it. All right, there. So there it is. My cute little bows to go with my butterflies, and it's a cute little set now. Alright, so that is part 2 of my first episode of Use It or Lose It, and there will be another part to this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.